Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. You can also find this show. Thank you again for joining us on another Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'm your host, and I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. Not saving souls. Well, I say that because my dad was a minister. He was in the soul saving business. I'm in a business saving business. Even though I worked at my dad's store when I was a kid. He had a little grocery store down in North Carolina. He was a sharecropper. So I guess I got some of that entrepreneurial spirit from my old man. Rest his soul, Reverend Dr. W.H. Gatewood. The show is named Marketing Pulpit in his honor. And we are glad to be here this morning, welcoming you to the show. I am a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web. You can find that business at gatewoodmarketing.com. I'm also an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College, and I've been very busy the last few weeks, and it will continue this month. Last night I was at Employ Prince George's over in Prince George's County, Maryland. I was teaching a course on social media strategies. It's a conjunction between the Prince George's Community College, National Harbor, and the American Job Center. And my company, Marketing Pulpit, lent me over to help out by instructing on several courses. Week before that, I was doing a course on branding at the same facility. And you might check those out. If you have a business and you want to get some instruction besides this show, contact Krista Brown at Prince George's Community College. And she can connect you with the Employed Prince George's as well as the courses they teach at Prince George's Community College. I've also written a couple of books, one called Played in Full and one called Smarter Than the Boss. Smarter Than the Boss. And also I work with the Small Business Administration in the 8A program. So like the young folks say, I got a couple of receipts, but I do this as part of a larger purpose. Everything is connected, including this show and including our most recently launched business directory, where you as a business owner can advertise your business right now pretty much free by going to mpi.bz. And for everybody who signs up today, I'm going to get you a upgrade, and you can get some great services through this directory. You can post your upcoming events, your products. If you're an author, you can sell your books and a few other goodies. And we're going to be promoting in the show, promoting that directory very aggressively on this platform, the Marketing Pulpit Radio Show. So I'm actually trying to help these small businesses get the word out. So the business directory is one way to do it. And right now there is no fee. So get in there, let us start promoting you before we attach a price to it. We have an exciting show today. We're going to be talking about advertising. Now, if you're advertising, if you haven't thought about your goal in advance, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to get the optimum result. So every ad you run should have one of the 4 different goals, objectives that we're going to talk about later in the show. And you don't want to miss that because you're probably just wasting money. People always complain about, well, I ran an ad, it didn't work. Well, there's a reason it didn't work. You don't want to keep redoing it. You don't want to keep doing it if it's not working. So and the answer is not to stop advertising. That's really not going to work. So what you want to do is correct. And the way we're going to do that is talk about later on why all ads are not created equally and how you can actually get the optimum results from the ads that you decide to run. We're going to talk about that later on, coming up in the show. This is the first show of the month of April 2023. And so we'd like to make the observances that take place in the month of April. Like this is World Autism Awareness Month, and we've been a big supporter of that cause throughout the years. I've actually hired people who had autism into our company, Asperger and some of the other types of disabilities that fall under autism. It's National Humor Month. So if you got a good joke, hey, it's the month to do it. National Poetry Month. Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Month. Yeah, don't do that. Don't be kicking dogs and cats and that kind of thing. Stress Awareness Month. Oh boy. I've been big on stress, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. Protect your peace. Stress will kill you. I'm telling you. Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So don't do that if you're sexually assaulting anybody. Stop. Just stop it. Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Well, I may have to work on that one. I do every now and then. I might peek down at my phone when I'm driving. So I'm working on it. This month will bring awareness to it. Let's see. International Guitar Month. Ooh, I like that one. All right, Alonzo, you hear me over there. The engineer and I, we both a guitarist. So I have to bring him a guitar this month. Dust it off. I have about 3 guitars. I have a couple of acoustics and 1 electric. Been doing that since my brothers and I were singers, young. Back in the old days, we had a little group called the Gatewood Brothers, and we have actually reunited. We have quite a few songs out there on the internet. Go to Gatewood Brothers on Facebook or YouTube. You can see us performing. We had a performance last month. Man, we were singing Sweet Love. We sang Ball of Confusion. We sang Wake Up Everybody. We started out as a gospel group, but now we're doing message music. We try to get out good messages. And so you can find out more about that. So now I'm glad it is International Guitar Month. Give me one more excuse to grab my guitar. It's National No Housework Day. I like that. I don't have to make my bed today. National Beer Day. I like, well, this is not beer. This is actually water. National No Housework and National Beer Day. Just call that one big beer bomb day. Anyway, folks, those are some of the observances we're recognizing on this first Friday of the month. I want to recognize some folks tuning in. Attorney Bradley Thomas, good morning, brother. Good to see you this morning. Brother Rory, thank you for tuning in from down the way, down south. And Brother Brown, the greatest plumber in town. So glad to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in this morning. And you guys are always very happy to see you, very supportive of the show. I really appreciate it. It is appreciated. But since it's first Friday, we also have, if you're in the DC area, you want to get over to 9701 Apollo Drive and participate in the first Friday. We have that every first Friday of the month. And Miss Bernadette Clay, the owner of BLE Executive Suites, which is one of our perennial sponsors, been supporting us for 12 years or more. They're sponsoring this event as well. She'll be there. She moderates and facilitates the event. And guess who else is going to be there? Ta-da! Yours truly. I'll be there emceeing the event. We have a young lady named Shanice there. She's going to tell you how to get 6- and 7-figure incomes. So she's going to be there on this particular day. So come on out. We start at 11:30 right after the show. If you're in the DC area, just drive on over. We're going to feed you also. Don't let that be your only reason for coming out. Just don't tell us anyway. Just come on in and pretend you're listening, if nothing else. And we do have great lunch for everybody who comes out. So that's the day at 11:30, and every first Friday. Matter of fact, next first Friday, I'll be the featured speaker. I'm going to talk about digital marketing and how to get success in this digital age. So I'll be featured speaker at the next first Friday. That's in May. That's May 5th. I think it's the same day as Cinco de Mayo. So we got a lot going on. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, BLE Executive Suites. They have their 3 locations in National Harbor, where I was last night. They have their location in College Park, which is a hub zone if you're trying to get those government contracts and hub zone money, and of course Largo Center, where this office is broadcast. So they're find out about their service. They're offering 3 months of their professional business address and their professional mailbox services. If you sign up and mention the marketing pulpit, that's $155 value, something like that. So you want to take advantage of that. I think it's $110 base, $55 a month. So take advantage of that. And just mention marketing pulpit. Get somebody to answer your phone, business address. You're not giving out your address to all these strangers. So you want to take advantage of that. Let's talk about a few items in the news. Jill Biden got in trouble recently. She invited the winners and the losers of the women's championship to the White House. And generally when you invite people to the White House, you just invite the winners. Well, Angel Reese, who was on, she was part of the winning team, she wasn't having it. She said, wait a minute, why are you inviting these losers when you should be just inviting the winners? So the winning team, LSU, where Angel Reese played, and of course the losing team, Iowa. And so Angel was not too happy about it. And I think it was wrong, because why is it whenever we win something, it's all about, hey, we're all in it together. Everybody wins. But when they win, it's like, suck it up. Better luck next time. So it's not right. It's not right. It's not right. So I like Jill and Joe Biden. They've done some great things, but they were wrong in this instance. And fortunately, Angel did eventually accept the apology. She will be appearing at the White House. Let's see. Donald Trump was indicted as planned. He was indicted on 34 counts. Now, it was centered around his hush money, but because he was hiding some federal crimes, it was upgraded to a felony. And of course, once he had the indictment later that night, he went on the show and did his, I guess he gave a concert of Donald Trump's greatest hits, the usual. I'm wrong. They wronged me. I'm a victim. I won the election. Anybody calls me a racist is a racist themselves. So he did that. And I'm a little surprised and disappointed that all these networks decided to air his speech. They know what it was going to be about. Same old. We had a weird situation down in Tennessee where 2 young black men were expelled from the legislative body, but they weren't just regular 2 black men. They were actually elected representatives. So that's going on right now down in the state of Tennessee. And that's going to be, that's an abomination. And I think that's going to be corrected. Let's see what's going on. We're going to coming up on a break here, and we're going to talk in about a minute. Let's see what else is going on. These folks are still acting the fool in these drive-thrus. I don't know what it is about fast food drive-thrus. We had one man shot his passenger and then shot himself at a Chick-fil-A, and then at a McDonald's. What the heck is going on? Another person, robbed an elderly woman and ran her over. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? That's why we're still doing war in the workplace. We're trying to let people know that there's something wrong out here and try not to keep you from driving into one of these traps. It's still going on, folks. Watch yourself. Be careful. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about advertising. We're going to talk about advertising and how you can make your ads effective by understanding the objectives before you start your ad. So hang on a second. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. And we'll be back in 1 minute. So hang on. Yes. All right, we're back. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and I have a little banter with my engineer. These white things in my ear, you're wondering what the heck is going on there. These are actually earbuds where I'm able to communicate with the engineer over at Radio 1. This show is simulcast at Radio 1 95.9 FM in the Washington, D.C. area, 1450 AM in the Washington, D.C. area. And it's a radio station that's owned by the venerable Miss Dr. Kathy Hughes. And we're just honored and pleased to be broadcasting from that platform. You can go to WOLDCnews.com, download the app, so you can also listen to the show at Radio 1. And so we're on Radio 1, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter. So this information is getting out here, folks. And we're doing trying to do our part to make sure we can save these businesses. Don't forget to join the business directory, mpi.bz. Get your name in that directory. And don't be complaining to me about you can't get any sales when we offer you this platform. I know people get bombarded with all kind of offers. Oh, yeah. And I myself have said if the product is if the product is free, the service is the. Well, it's not that case. This is not the case. What happens if you join today, you join at the free plan, and then for 1 year, I'm going to upgrade you to a $150 a year plan, which gets you on the home page, features your products, features your events and book signings and so forth. And after that 1 year, you're under no obligation to stay at that plan. You can just go back to the free plan and you'll still be a part of the directory, but you won't have some of the features. So there is no catch here. There's no catch. So go to mpi.bz and get your name or your book or your organization, your nonprofit, your events in the directory, because I'm going to be sending traffic here just like I am today. And we want to welcome the new people that have joined. We see King Capital. They offer business funding. We see Idea Gear. We see Sensory 3 Wellness Coach. And a few others. So just go to mpi.biz on the homepage and you'll see the events, you'll see the new members, and you'll see the products from some of the members. We're going to get into our sermon today. I want to say welcome to the show, Marilyn Franklin. She's also platinum. She's a comedian and she's good, man. Check her out. She's in the directory too. That's right. Marilyn is one of our most recent additions to the business directory. So go there and see her schedule and what she's doing. And thank you again, Platinum, for being a supporter and joining the directory. All right, folks, let's see. If I miss anybody, just go to the directory and we will shout you out when you join the plan. So that's some free advertising you're getting. All right, let's see what we're talking about here. Let's talk about this topic today. We're talking about advertising. Now, if you're not advertising, I'm just going to say this off the bat. You're not going to make it if you're not doing some type of advertising. You can take that to the bank. You must advertise. People you can't just make it off your family and friends. You can't say, well, I got a big family, I'm a part of this church, and well, that's advertising too. But I'm saying you have to sell to some strangers in order to survive as a business owner. But you can't just advertise nilly-willy. You have to have some type of plan. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret about 4 types of objectives that you should keep in mind each time you run an ad. Just can't say I want some customers, so let me just run this ad and make this money. No. Now, these are 4 objectives. I'm going to give this to you first, and I'll break them down a little more. The one goal of running an ad is to build an audience. That means you're introducing yourself to new people. Those strange people I'm telling you about. So you have to do that. That's one objective. Another objective is lead generation. Get people to give you the information so you can do follow-up. Okay? That's another objective. A third objective is to convert people who are sitting on the fence. They've already reached out to you and they haven't decided to order yet. So you got to do something to get them go ahead and get off the fence and become a client. And the fourth one, which is one of my favorites, because a lot of people don't think about this when they're advertising, is to upsell people who have already shown an interest or have bought the product. Now you need to get them to buy some more, to get the larger size or whatever. So those are the 4 objectives that you should keep in mind before you run that next ad, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Radio 1, whether it's on the marketing pulpit, or wherever, Money Mailer, YouTube, TikTok. What is your objective? Let me break it down a little bit. So let's just say we're dealing with the first one, which is to build your audience, to let people know that you exist. That is a different goal than trying to upsell somebody. And it's a different ad. So to build the audience, these are some types of advertising you might engage in to build your audience and recognition to get people to follow you and learn more about you. Number 1 is a blog. You have a blog, you put that blog on Spotify, put it on Anchor, put it on iHeart, some of these other platforms. You're building your audience. You're letting people know that you exist. If you're an author, you're a professional, or somebody like myself, You get out there, you're building that credibility so that people starting to feel a little comfortable and cozy with you. Posting educational type videos. Going to YouTube, take one of your YouTube videos, some kind of speech you've given someplace, put that on your YouTube. You can share it on Facebook. That's another type of ad that's starting to build that audience and credibility. Some type of engagement post, like you're on Facebook, trying to get people to follow you and communicate with you. Content-focused ads and content-focused videos, where you're talking about certain content related to your particular industry. A live video, like when you go on Instagram, for instance. Every time you go on Instagram with a live video, you're alerted by your followers. It comes up in that little top page. So you want to do that. You're building credibility. You're building your audience. You're not necessarily trying to sell right away. Not the order, you'll take it. But at this point, these type of ads are to build your audience and get your name out in front of people. That's number one. The second type of ad you want to do is called lead generation. These people may have heard about you. They're starting to get a little cozy and fuzzy with you, but you got to get a lead so you can call them or give it to your sales staff or put them in your database. So you can send them some emails and things like that. So one way to do that is what we call gated content. In other words, there's something behind this wall that you can't get to until you give me your email address or something, phone number, address, your cousin's number or something, but you're not going to get past to those gates behind this wall until you give me some type of information. We call that lead generation. We talk about gated content. You may want to offer some type of resource, some type of download, some type of information sheet, some type of video, but they got to get past the gate, and you got to give them some. You got to give up some information. We call it tripwire. Tripwire simply means you get them in at a low offer, start at the free plan, then we upgrade you and so forth. They was called lead generation ad types of ads. Loss leaders by offering some type of crazy discount to get them to come into the door. Product reviews and things like that. We call those lead generation type of ads. Okay, which is different than a building audience type of ad. Let's talk about another one, the conversion ad. Okay, well, you succeeded. You got them to give you that information, and you've built a database. Now, if you have a database like MailChimp or Constant Contact, you want to go into that database and separate out these folks. So when you put that form on your page, let's say on your home page, you might have that instead of going into the general database, you might have it go into a group. Like you might say, this is my lead gen group. These people are not clients. So that when you're ready to start doing that conversion, you know who they are, and you're not inundating people who already have become clients or they're not at the right same place in the process. How do we get that? Well, we start putting out things like testimonials. You're reinforcing people to understand who you are and getting people to vouch for you. You want to do things like if you had like a feature in a magazine, if you were a speaker at a big convention, you want to put that in there. So you're trying to convert these people who are sitting on the fence. You want to do things like overcoming objections in the ad. Like if somebody said, look, the price is too low or too high. In these type of ads, you want to talk about that. Your price may be higher, but you have to qualify why it's higher. Things like reminder ads to let them know, look, you contacted us a little while ago. You didn't buy anything. Now we're back with a better offer. That's called a conversion ad. And the last one, which is, like I say, one of my favorites, is called the upsell ad. These are folks that are in your database. As I talked about earlier, they may have already ordered. But if we understand the marketing metrics, there's two types of acronyms you need to be aware of: cost per acquisition and the lifetime value. So to get that lifetime value to really hit pay dirt, you want to do the upselling ad. That's to try to get them to buy more, the larger size, the related products, and you put those items in the ad. Also, this is a good time to do the thank you. Send out a thank you for your service. Thank you for following us. Thank you for buying our products. And that's a good way to get them to buy more, because you have a legitimate reason to reach out to them. So, folks, that's going to wrap up our sermon for today. But closing, when you get ready to do your ad, go back and look at this video. Share it with other people so they can stop spending and wasting all their money, because this works. These are proven. I'm using these for clients right now. We have a long list of clients that we work with on a day-to-day basis. So any information I give you has been proven, tested, and this is one of them. Don't forget to join the business directory at mpi.bz and let us start promoting you free. And also, if you're in the DC area, come on out to the BLE Marketing Pulpit, Gatewood Marketing, first Friday. We have it every first Friday of the month, and we're going to have it today at 9701 Apollo Drive. There's a link on the Marketing Pulpit homepage that'll take you right to that page so that you can actually come on out, get yourself free lunch and nothing else. Don't let that be the only reason you're coming now. Thank you again, Platinum. Thank you again, Mr. Brown, for helping me out here. And as always, if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get out here and get to work. So I've seen several instances where people, just good, hardworking business owners, they get caught in this trap of comparing themselves to others. And sometimes they feel like they don't measure up. But in comparing, we have this apples to orange comparison. Matter of fact, it's more like apple to pineapple. You have to pursue you and what makes you unique and stop this comparison. Now, I must admit, this tendency has been exacerbated by the internet. And you go on the internet and people, they see other businesses, they see other people doing things, and sometimes they're exaggerating their capabilities and their successes. And there's nothing wrong with letting people know you're doing well, but as long as you don't take it to the extreme and showing off. But if you're a business owner or somebody watching this, and you start to measure yourself against that, it can be a mistake. Now, when you're buying media, there are some costs, and you're going to pay for that media. I'm going to give you 3 acronyms that you should be aware of at all times. The first one is cost per acquisition, CPA. In other words, if I spend this money, either I'm going to pay you based on a sale or something else. Now, cost per acquisition is also another way to evaluate media. That means how much did it actually cost you after the fact. Another is CPM. CPM stands for cost per mille. That's M-I-L-L-E, which is a Latin term for 1,000. So cost per mille means the cost for 1,000 impressions. Another is called CPC, which is cost per click, which is how much you're going to pay if somebody clicks on that ad. And so if you're doing like Google AdWords or something like that, you're usually doing a CPC deal. So you need to understand the terminology. Well, there is some truth to that saying that all money is not good money, because there are certain things you have to consider. Sometimes you get a client that's just simply underfunded. They have big aspirations, but small bank accounts. Sometimes when that happens, you have to say, thanks, but no thanks. I'm good. Now, I probably turn down more business for this reason than any other reason. My purpose is not to get quick as rich as you can, everything else be damned. That does not align with my purpose, because I'm dealing with a greater calling. I'm about building businesses. I'm about putting people to work. I'm about building an economic foundation in our community. I'm about uplifting people. If you are in an industry, or if you have a service that is not aligning with that, I'm going to have to say thanks, but no thanks.